Hey, how's it going? Clifton Nicholas, Henry Eli Skeletor, hanging out here with my boy, Yassine Talat. Yes.
Sir.
Three-letter opera. The most dangerous three-letter word. Yeah.
They do say
Is
things
that
like that.
You
Or
do.
at least I want them to say things.
It
like
sounds
that.
so
Hello,
cool.
Good to be here. Actually, Cliff and I are back. It's been a while since we've done one of our little movie blogs, and this is a movie. We're actually going to talk about a particular movie that we've been anticipating for a long time. So we've been getting a lot of requests from people saying, "What'd you think? What'd you think?" Here we are. Cliff, what are we talking about?
This movie called Black Mass. That's what we're going to be talking about. And basically, it's a biopic of the most notorious, one of the most notorious gangsters in American history, in recent history too. A guy that was number 2 to Osama bin Laden on the America's Most Wanted list for what, 20 years?
Yep.
So, I mean, that's basically what this movie is about. We want to kind of talk about it with you. First things first, though, before we even start talking about the movie, I just want to mention that we have 2 huge announcements coming up in the next little while. Oh yeah, I also want to mention, it's quite obvious that I'm talking to Yas on a screen right now. Isn't this the beauty of technology?
Yeah, I still don't know what's actually happening.
yeah. Well, we haven't really done it this way before, so I'm just kind of like, I'll look over at this camera every once in a while, then I kind of look at you, and I'm like, oh wait, which way am I even supposed to be looking? But it's awesome because we're in different cities, and this is a great way for us to be able to actually have this conversation.
It is. You're in Sudbury, and I'm actually in Toronto, where this movie actually just premiered on the 18th on Friday here at the TIFF, the Toronto International Film Festival. So
yeah, that's extremely cool. And you went and saw it last night, right?
I see. We both went and saw it last night.
We both went and saw it last night separately. From what I understand, talking to you, just you being there though, you had I don't know if you want to share the story, but you had a cool story that you shared with me earlier. Am I calling you up?
Maybe we'll share the story at the end because I might give some insight on what they had to say.
Okay, that's very cool. So let's talk about the movie. I'll give my quick little review of it, and then I'll let you kind of jump in there. How does that sound?
That sounds good. So we'll go Cliff and Yas review of Black Mass.
There we go. Bring that up on screen. I like it. All right, so let me talk about the movie. Let's do a comparison first, though, just to kind of set a kind of an idea, a guideline, create some context for people. So let's take a couple of movies that are classics. Let's use Donnie Brasco and what's the other one you want to use? What other one would you like to use?
Goodfellas or Departed?
Let's go with Goodfellas, okay? So what do you give those movies out of 10?
Out of 10, I give Goodfellas a 9.8.
Okay.
And I give Donnie Brasco a 9 out of 10.
Okay, so I was basically 8.5 for Donnie Brasco, and I gave a 9 to Goodfellas.
Cool. And also, I'll add Bobby, my partner, Bobby McIntosh, at Celebrity Status. We had this conversation as well. He gives Goodfellas a 10, and he gives Donnie Brasco a 9.5. So I think we all put those 2 movies at a very high level.
High level. So I'm going to give you what I give out of 10 to this movie, then explain how I got to that number. Is that cool with you?
Good.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do for you fellas as well. All right, so I give this movie, I'm basically giving it away right away, I give it a 7 out of 10. And let me just start by talking about the acting. The acting is brilliant in this movie. Johnny Depp's one of his best performances in his entire career, and definitely his best performance in the last decade. Unquestionably, he is absolutely frightening in this movie. He embodies, from the bit of research I've done, what I believe Jimmy Bulgar to be like. So I think that he captured that really well. And then I could go down the list. Hopefully people are paying attention to Benedict Cumberbatch, because his portrayal of Jimmy Bulgar's brother is spectacular, right? I mean, what else can I say? It's absolutely spectacular. A lot of people aren't talking about him, but they need to be talking about him. Even though he's one of the greatest actors out there, it's very easy to kind of, when you have this expectation of them always being good, you almost look past them because of that. His performance is awesome. Joel Edgerton's performance as O'Donnell is absolutely fascinating. This man is killing it. He's a guy to look out for. He plays in the movie The Gift. He plays, what's the character's name again? Gordo. He plays Gordo in the movie The Gift. And again, I don't want to get into The Gift. The Gift is one of the best movies of the year. But anyways, performances are spectacular. The dialogue in this movie is unbelievable. Some of the exchanges will just give you chills when you're watching the movie. And then the cinematography, the capturing the time period. I think they did a great job through set design and wardrobe and all that stuff's amazing. Now you're asking yourself, okay, this sounds like a 10 out of 10 movie so far. Well, I gave it a 7 out of 10, and we lose 3 major points on one of the most important things in a film for me, and it's feeling emotion in the film. And walking away feeling like this was a memorable movie. I feel like the movie was great. It was a great experience. I don't know that it'll be a memorable movie. I don't know that it's going to go down in history as a one of the classic gangster movies of all time. And the reason being is because they tried to cram too many elements of Whitey Bulgar's life into this movie without just developing it. Introduce character, kill. Introduce character, scare the shit out of them. Introduce character, boom, they're gone in the next scene. It was very just kind of, putting in all of the crazy things that happens in this person's life. The truth is, they potentially could have had themselves a fucking series on their hands, a series of movies, because there's so many things that happen in this character's life that are hard to believe, but actually happen. So that's where I feel like we lose a lot of points, is with the storytelling. It's very anticlimactic. It kind of just ends and you're like, oh, okay, cool, it's over. But I know Yas is going to say this already, sorry to give this away, but we're both extraordinarily happy for Johnny Depp to finally go show what he could do. He's so good. So I highly recommend going to see the movie because you're going to be mesmerized by Johnny Depp's performance. Your turn, homie. Hopefully I didn't take up too much time.
No, and I'll share a lot of the same sentiments. My overall critique or my rating is a 7.5. I give it a 7.5, and that is a disappointment because this was one of my most anticipated films of the year, yours too. And so I wanted it to be like a Departed, like a Donnie Brasco, like a Below, and it wasn't. However, at the end of it, even though I gave it a 7.5, because the performances were so good and Johnny Depp is just so incredible, it's somewhat of a triumph at the same time. It's like it's the return of Johnny. It's like, what is Keanu Reeves, the line you quoted?
Oh, yeah, people keep asking me if I'm back. Yeah, I'm guessing I'm back.
That's it. That's all I thought about at the end of the movie, because he is back.
Yeah.
And his portrayal of Whitey Bulgar is... It's unbelievable. Like, it's hard for me to even... Like, Joel Edgerton's incredible in this movie. Benedict is incredible. All the acting is phenomenal. Like, it's a 10 out of 10. But Johnny Depp takes it to that next level. And it is just... It's awe-watching. Like, I was mesmerized.
And I just want to say one thing quickly. Sorry to cut you off, yes. I just want to say this quickly, that people need to know, because I didn't know a lot about Whitey Bulgar, about a year ago. But Yas would always talk about him. Bobby would always talk about him. They have been obsessed with this person, with this infamous character for a very long time. So they've really studied him. So as excited as I was, I'm sure it paled in comparison to how excited Yas has been to see this movie. Sorry, I just wanted.
You nailed it. Because me and Bobby, we're like El Chapo fanatics, Pablo Escobar fanatics, Whitey Bulgar fanatics. Like, we just love this stuff. And we go past like just watching like documentaries. Like, we read the books and we go find scholarly journals on these people, and we try to find the FBI files. So we knew what Whitey Bulgar was, and this was Whitey Bulgar. Like, for me, I was watching a real-life version of Whitey Bulgar, which was phenomenal. So, also, Cliff and I won't give any spoilers, so if you haven't seen this movie, we won't ruin anything. So, as you said, script is incredible, dialogue is incredible, acting is through the roof. There should be Oscar nominations for all those things. The problem was what you said. There wasn't a lot of emotion. Like, a lot of the gangster movies we love, Blow, Goodfellas, Departed, Godfather, Scarface, there's like this character build-up and attachment. You feel like you really care about these characters, either in a good way or in a bad way. This movie didn't feel like a gangster movie to me, and that was the biggest problem. What it felt like to me was, and I explained to Cliff, was watching like an American crime story, which are good, and I like a crime story, but they're not like gangster movies. They don't have great return viewing for me. Like I don't go back and watch those movies, and that's what this movie felt like. The biggest concern, besides the emotional attachment, is what Cliff said: is they tried to cram too much. They tried to cram almost 18 years of Whitey Bulgar in an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And the timeline bothered me. Like they would start at 1975, then they would jump to 1981, then they would jump to 1986, and then it goes to 1994. It's like they were like big pockets of things that they just don't explain. And again, you don't like. There's a huge war in North Boston for ownership between La Cosa Nostra, the Italians, and the Winter Hill Gang, Whitey Bulgar, the Irish. And you don't get any of that in this movie. In fact, there's not a lot of movie in this movie. There's not a lot.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, it's just like it follows the same trope, which is, as Cliff said, show that he's a crazy guy, show that he's a killer, show that he's a psychopath, introduce a character, and just keep going on that same trope over and over and over again. You don't really get attached in any way, and that was. For me, those are the two biggest things. The third biggest flaw for me is I never felt attached to the actual city itself. To the environment. Like it takes place in Southie Boston. I don't ever really feel like I'm in Boston watching this movie outside of the incredible accents that Benedict Cumberbatch pulls off and Joel Edgerton pulls off, and
incredible.
They pull them off brilliantly. But when you watch a movie, for example, like The Town that Ben Affleck directed.
Great example.
He's from Southie. He's from Boston. And when you watch The Town, you feel it. Like you're embedded in Boston. Boston itself plays a huge character in that movie. That's what I thought I was going to get with this. I don't get that at all. It just, that location that this movie takes place could have literally been New Jersey. It could have been Philadelphia.
Yeah.
It could have been Garson, for all I know, outside of the accent. So those are my issues with the movie. The timeline, the emotional attachment to this character, characters and story building, and then the atmosphere kind of didn't do it. But again, I'll let you jump in. I give it a 7.5, and I'm happy because of the performances alone are flipping mind-boggling.
Unreal. Mesmerizing. So you got a 7 from Cliff, 7.5 from Yas. I just wanted to add to one of your points too about, and again, to kind of continue on to something that I was saying earlier in regards to how they were kind of jumping from thing to thing, right? It's almost like you're sitting with somebody at a table and you're sitting with that person and they're telling you about their life, and then start a story and not finish it. Then start a story and not finish it, start a story, not finish it, start a story, not finish it, and then they go home for the night. And you're like, okay, you told me a lot of stories. You just never finished any of the stories.
Yes. Like, I know a lot of things you've done, but I still don't know who you are. And, I went and saw this movie with Katie.
Yeah.
And, she knows a little bit about Whitey Bulgar because of me. But at the end of the movie, we walked out, she still has no idea who Whitey Bulgar really is. And if you don't really, do the research yourself, ultimately what you get out of this is that he's just kind of like a crazy killer.
That's it, yeah. You watched the psychopath. Okay, so now we've given our review. Share with us your little story, man. You shared it with me already, and I think it's a fun little thing that happened.
Yeah, so I ended up seeing the movie with Katie, and we went to the Varsity at Yonge and Bloor a theater, VIP. Look at us cool, because we get cool names. And we actually sat next to Greg Grunberg. Grunberg. He's from Heroes, the show Heroes. He plays Parkman. He's actually in all of JJ.
Everything. He's in Felicity. Yeah. He's the pilot. He's the pilot in Lost.
He's in the new Star Wars movie.
He's in the new Star Wars, yeah.
Next to him and Ryan Guzman, who's kind of like the new hot thing too. He's in the new Heroes show coming out. He's in The Boy Next Door with Jennifer Lopez, the Step Up movies. And so we sat next to them and we got to chat and hang out. And after the movie, we all had like a debriefing. We kind of all just sat around outside the movie theater talking about our thoughts. And something that Greg said that made sense to me is he was expecting this movie to be a lot more epic. And when you walked out of the movie, it didn't feel like that epic tale. And I think that's what I'm saying, whereas when I watch like a Scorsese film, when you watch Scorsese, it's epic. And I don't mean like with explosions. It's just you feel like you're with the mafia. Like you get into their world, you get into their business. Like you see the business side and the daily operations, and you see Hill rise to fame in Goodfellas and that. In this movie, we don't get any of that again. Like you don't really know where Whitey Bulgar's making his money.
Oh yeah, they're like racketeering. Oh, okay, yeah, because I know all about that.
Extortion. People don't even know what racketeering is,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
They know mobsters do racketeering, but they don't understand it. And so this movie was missing. So that's what he said.
Yeah.
And I think it's an important point because I think a lot of people are expecting like a big, epic gangster movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of lacking.
So it's interesting though. It's really the fun thing about going to TIFF is every once in a while you'll end up sitting beside some celebrities and you can chat about the movie afterwards.
Exactly, and that makes it.
We've got Cinefest going on here in Sudbury, which is a really amazing international film festival. But I didn't end up sitting beside any celebrities. I feel like my friends that I was there with, Kyle, Pam, and Russ, I feel like they're celebrities to me, though, because they're just really cool people.
And that's what movies are. They should be watched and viewed with the people you care about and people that want to talk film and enjoy. So I'm glad you got to see it with people who got to enjoy that experience. So for me, so I'll ask you, Cliff.
Yeah.
Should people go see this movie?
100%. 100% go see the movie. You need to experience it. You need to form your own opinion on it. You don't have to have the opinion we have. We may have missed things. So I want you to see it because I actually want to hear your feedback on it. And just the performances alone are so mesmerizing. You need just if you appreciate great performances, go and sit down and watch this movie because you're gonna love the performances. You guys?
Agree. I gotta relate the same sentiment. I think it's a good movie with extremely incredible performances, and for that alone, you should see it. Again, my issue a little bit with the directing, although I like Scott Cooper, like I liked Out of the Furnace, it had its problems. I like Crazy Heart as well, it had some of its problems. This too, like he does a really good job at creating something gritty, but it was just too truncated, through the whole movie. It felt too choppy and blocky. But go see this movie, Johnny Depp. Do it one more time for me, Cliff. Do the John Wick.
People keep asking me if I'm back. Yeah, I'm guessing I'm back.
Back. Johnny Depp is absolutely back.
So thank you for taking the time to watch us. Give us your feedback. Let us know what you think. If you've gone to see the movie or what anything you want to give us, we're excited about it. Two last things before we end this blog. Again, thank you for taking the time. I have a huge announcement. We have a huge announcement at Movie Night Under the Stars on September 24th, which is this coming up Thursday. Show up to it. We have a huge announcement that is going to be I can't even, I wish I could tell you right now, but you got to show up to it. And we have a second one that's going to be coming up in about a month with me and Yas. Again, you guys have to wait for it, but we're super stoked. That's all we can say, right, Yas?
That's it. We're back. Johnny Depp is back. He's brought us back. So let us know what you think of this movie. If you agree with us, disagree with us. Bobby's going to see it right now. He's actually in the theater, so he'll jump on and comment. But also let us know what else you want us to review. There's a bunch of good movies coming out still. Revenant, Sicario, Star Wars, right? There's a whole bunch of big movies. Let us know what you want us to review, and we'll try to jump on it immediately.
Or even as simple as if you're bored and you're hanging out and you're just like, I need to watch something right now, shoot us a message. We'll help you out. We love hooking our friends up like that.
Exactly.
Isn't that right? All right.
And subscribe. We're going to put a subscribe thing so they can click, so they can just...
definitely. We'll hook them up.
Good. Hook them up.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Peace.